join me behind the wheel of a 2020 Peugeot 208, and I'm going to start by saying, no matter what I find out about this car, I want to commend Peugeot for just doing things a little bit differently. I mean, even to the point where I've had to put my camera in a different place because I think you want to be able to see my hands on the steering wheel, and it's literally impossible for the normal place for the steering wheel to be seen because it's so low and small, different to any other car that I've driven. This is the second generation of Peugeot 208 because they stopped bothering adding one to the name, so it went 205, 206, 207, 208, and now it's gone 208 again because for whatever reason they can't be bothered to make the 209. The second generation of 208 came out in 2019 on a shared platform with the Vauxhall Corsa, so if you've seen the new Corsa around, it looks very similar. I very much like the exterior design of this Peugeot. It looks a lot like the Vauxhall Corsa, but they've actually done a slightly better job, I think. At least it stands out a lot more. It's got the fangs at the front, the headlights at the front, and the lion's claw triple slash on the rear brake lights. The car I'm in today is slap bang in the middle of the possibilities of both engines and trim levels. This is a 1.2 litre petrol, which all the petrols are 1.2. But it's got 100 horsepower. You could also get a 74 horsepower and a 126 horsepower engine. And there was also a 1.5 litre diesel available. The 100 horsepower was available with the manual gearbox or an 8-speed automatic, and then the 128 was only available with the 8-speed automatic. The 8-speed auto is known as the E88, but I just read it as 88. So because the 1.2 litre engine is 3-cylinder, now it's very hushed in this car, but it actually sounds quite nice, but then 3 cylinders always do. It's something to do with that odd number of cylinders being more resonant. Well, there is of course an electric version of this car, the E208. I think I'll wait to do another video on that if I get hold of one. As I was saying, I commend Peugeot for doing things differently, and this interior actually does look fantastic. Minimalist, but in a really good way. Like the way they've designed everything to this like instrument binnacle in front with these weird handles on the side of it, I guess so that passengers can see through it into the dials, and the 3D effect that they've got on the instruments. And I thought maybe the 3D effect would be one of those things that makes you feel a bit sick when you look at it, but it's definitely not doing that to me. It's fine. I've figured out how the 3D thing works. There's another screen or something up there, and it's like reflecting down onto here, so you've got the 3D bit coming from that. Over the last 20 years, as cars have gotten safer and safer, they've also gotten heavier and heavier. That's a trend that has started to be reversed recently, at least with petrol and diesel cars, not electric. They're quite heavy. This car is only 1,100 kilos, which, to put that into perspective, a Mazda MX-5 from 2006, which is a lightweight 2-seater sports car, also weighs around 1,100 kilos. A reduction in weight just helps with so many things, you know, like handling, performance, and economy. The fuel economy is good. The petrol should get about 50 miles per gallon, and the diesel's only going to be better if you can be bothered to buy diesel these days. They've been building this car only since 2019, and it's obviously still the current model. And it wouldn't be a modern car without a whole host of technology in it, and yeah, this car's got all sorts of interesting stuff. Fully digital dashboard in front of me. You've also got this decent sized touchscreen now. I think that's a 7-inch, but you can upgrade to a 10-inch, which uses the same footprint of the screen, but just fills out all the side parts. This particular model's got like the carbon fibre look to it, which is possibly a bit silly because, I mean, why do you need carbon fibre in a little hatchback? But it looks great the way it's like wraps around through the doors all the way around. And you've got these like metal toggle switches. Well, they look metal, they're actually plastic. A great interior. Except for, I've noticed this little bit of exposed red body coloured metal here. Just reminds you that you're in a slightly more budget car. It's weird that they didn't cover that up, and this is very picky. But I have to be picky because, you know, what else can I say? This weird little bit of green stripes here on the doors seems totally out of place. At least make them the colour of the car. If the car's red, make the stripes red. Best just find out what it's like in the back now. I can't be bothered to do that. Employ someone else to do it. MC JJ, what do you reckon? What's that, mate? Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all right actually. I've got quite a lot of headroom. My knees are kind of slightly wedged in behind you, but the space is pretty good back here. And there's 2 little USB ports at the back. USB-A though, not USB-C, so get with the times, Peugeot. That is about it. thanks to Backseat JJ for that. Hey, if you're liking this video, please press that like button. I've got to a twisty bit of road here. I do like how this car drives, actually. I've driven the new Corsa and it does remind me of that. The little steering wheel is like F1. You don't have to make much input to it to get the car to shift in the direction you want, so it's quite sporty feeling in that regard. Also, of course, the fact that this car only weighs 1100 kilos is immediately going to give it a sporty, more enjoyable drive. The brakes are a bit on or off. They're not like sporty progressive brakes. Now I imagine if you're buying a 208 you give no hoots about that. Suspension's quite comfortable, pretty smooth. I mean, the French are good at that. It's a refined car. It's very quiet. Modern cars are getting good now. To get this general level of comfort and quietness in a car 10-20 years ago, you'd have had to have something a lot bigger. Nowadays they manage to make cars feel quiet and relaxing, but not all cars, so it doesn't go without saying that they'll be quiet and refined, but this one definitely is. On the motorway it's still pretty smooth and refined, actually, especially for a car this size. Something I noticed when I drove the Corsa as well. It's really high geared, so at 70 miles an hour it's only doing just over 2000 RPM in 6th. I remember back when I had a 2.8 litre V6 Saab, and I thought that was a great motorway cruiser. That was doing 2000 RPM with its massive engine, and the thing is, it still accelerates when you put your foot down as well, so it's not as though it's in the wrong gear. Interior practicalities: there's two big cup holders in the middle, and they're big. For a little car like this, it easily fits this fat bottomed bottle in, and the same for the two door pockets as well, they fit in there. The glove box is a bit small. It's got that usual French car problem of them not bothering to move the fuse box for left and right hand drive, so on a right hand drive car you've got some of it eaten up by that. Quite a big cubby hole under the armrest as well, and it doubles up as quite a comfy armrest. You also get this charging pad for your phone as well in the centre console. I mean, pretty much all cars do this now, but I might as well mention it. The rear seats split fold 60-40. The boot's a pretty good size as well. It's practical back there, as you would hope. If there's anything that would put me off buying one of these, it's Peugeot's reputation for reliability, or lack thereof. The previous 208 was one of the worst performing cars for reliability. There have been reports of some issues with this car as well, like the infotainment screen is stopping working, and the problem with that is that a lot of the functions are done through the screen, as is common for modern cars. The buttons will only get you so far. There's something to be wary of. Now hopefully all of them will still be in warranty at the moment. If there have been any issues, they'll have been resolved by the time you buy this second hand in a couple of years' time. I don't know if it's the tiny wheel doing its magic again, but the turning circle seems quite good on this car. It's certainly very easy to quickly make manoeuvres because you don't have to move the wheel too much. To bang on again about this steering wheel, the thing is, it's designed so that you can see the instruments over the top of it. If I lift that steering wheel up to there, now I literally can't see any of the instruments. What you've got to do when you test drive one of these cars is make sure that you can put it in a comfortable driving position. Steering wheel in the correct place, seat in the correct place, and if you can see the instruments in front of you, then cool. But if your optimal driving position involves blocking off the entire instrument cluster, maybe this car's not for you. Be sure to follow me on Instagram or Facebook if you want to. The link's in the description below. Big thanks to Tom for lending me the car. Video here. If you want to watch either of them, go ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, until next time, bye.